I, 17M, have two sisters, 24F, and 22F. Until last Christmas, both of my sisters lived with my grandma, but then one of my sisters, 24F, moved out to an apartment with her boyfriend. My oldest sister had her first kid 4 years ago, when the pandemic was still around. When she first had her, I was more than happy to babysit her for a bit every other week while she was at work. A year passed and now I was babysitting my niece full time. Mind you, in 2021 I was 13, and my sister had me babysitting her kid from Monday to Friday. From when I got to my grandma's house, which was usually 3:30 p.m. or 4 p.m., until 8 or 9 p.m., when she came back from work, I had to babysit her child. I had no compensation, I wasn't calling my friends as much and could never hang out just because I had to take care of her kid. I was spending more than 20 hours a week taking care of my sister's daughter just because she didn't want to get a nanny. My grandma would help me babysit, but after a while she just told me to take care of it. I don't blame my niece for anything, she was only a baby, but she made me come to the realization I never want to have kids. I spent 2 years, until 2023, taking care of her kid. With me, she took her first steps, she said her first words, and I even taught her some English. My first language is Spanish, but I spent those 2 years with zero compensation for all the work I had to do. I had to feed her, I had to change her diapers, bathe her, etc. On some days, especially on Fridays, she wouldn't even come to pick up her kid and just leave her with me at grandma's house over the weekend. It never mattered to her if I had homework, group projects, or wanted to hang out with my friends. If I had made any plans, I'd pretty much be forced to cancel on my friends if my sister left my niece at my grandma's house that day. Last year he spent the holidays over at my house because my sister didn't want her ruining her Christmas since she was going to spend Christmas over at her boyfriend's parents' house. Just when I thought one kid was more than enough, last year, in the middle of summer break, both my sisters, 24F and 22F, brought to me the wonderful news that they were both pregnant. I almost punched my oldest sister right there. How is she gonna have another kid when she can't take care of the one she already has? Also, my oldest sister's boyfriend has a kid, and now they've decided to leave me to take care of both of their kids, 4F and 6F, while they take care of their new baby. My nieces are great girls, I'm not gonna lie, but my issue is with my sister being such an irresponsible mother. She works all day and wants me to take care of her kids while she's at work, and if I say anything about it, I'm instantly shut down by my grandma/parents who always defend her and say she's a hard worker. All my sister does is jump from job to job. In January of this year, I asked my sister if she could start paying me for babysitting her kids, since I'm pretty much raising them for her. She told me that as her only sibling who's available, because I don't have a job, I had to take care of her kids, because it was part of my job as her sibling. She also told me that when the time came, she would pay me for babysitting. I'm still waiting for her to pay me. Just last week, I was babysitting one of my nieces and I had to call her to come pick her up early because I was going to the mall with my friends and had to get ready. I called her at around 2 p.m. She said she was busy and would try to get to me as soon as possible. From her work to grandma's house, it usually takes her 20, maybe 30 minutes tops to get to grandma's house. I had to get ready since one of my best friends was picking me up at 4 p.m. Then it was 4 p.m. I was ready to go and my sister hadn't gotten there yet, and left my messages on read. I couldn't even ask my grandma to cover for me while I was out because my grandma was at a medical appointment. So when my friend came to my house to pick me up, I had to tell her I couldn't go, because my sister hadn't picked up her kid yet. I waited until 7 p.m. when she eventually did come to pick up her kid, and gave me the cheap excuse that she had a thing at work so she couldn't leave early. This was the final straw for me. After 3 years of babysitting your kids, you refuse to pay me, and continue to mess up my social life just because you feel like I owe it to you? After that day, I texted her to never ever leave her kids at my house again and that I was not gonna be babysitting them anymore. My grandma got mad at me for telling her that and told me I should have been easier on her because she's having some relationship problems. It's not my problem that she doesn't know how to nor want to take care of her kids. I spent almost all of high school raising her kids, missing out on hanging out with my friends, causing me massive stress with homework and projects, without any compensation, and she could just leave her kid at my house whenever she wanted to, for how many days and hours she wanted to. All I wanted was for her to understand that I'm in school and I don't have time for raising anyone's kids. I get she was working most of the time, but I'm not a nanny and I should be able to just hang out with my friends without worrying about any kids. Also, she could have paid me for it after all this time. She had the money to pay me. So, Ida for refusing to babysit her kids?